What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Bryan. I'm also the creator of Crimson Woods. This is like take number 257 or something. Anyway, I wanted to show you right now Crimson Woods, which is sitting in front of you on Tabletop Simulator. Quick overview of the actual components, real quick. You have your resource deck here, which consists of certain things that you're going to need to help fight off the killer, move around the board a little bit faster, as well as the things that you're going to need to escape, like your gas and your batteries for the different tiles that you need to use. There's also killer attack cards in here that are going to, just like they say, trigger the killer to come and attack you. These are tokens that would typically be underneath all of these tiles, but for the sake of Tabletop Simulator, I can't get it to work just right, so we're just going to have them stacked like this, and we'll draw them as we move through the board. These are your character sheets. There's 3 here, and there's also 3 set up down here for the game that I'm going to go through and do like a little overview, a quick game playthrough of it. These have all your stats on there. It shows you the health. This person has 3 health, a hand size of 5, 2 movement. On the bottom, it tells you a little bit of what you do in the course of the turn. Roll the killer dice, move or play cards, resolve a tile once you land on it and flip it, and then draw a card to end your turn. It also tells you that if you did not move this turn, you would have to roll the killer dice a second time. This gameplay has changed a little bit, so the final version would be different. It also gives you the special abilities that this player has. For example, this one has Outsmart. At the end of your turn, if you draw, you may draw 2 instead of just 1, and you can keep 1 and return 1. But if either one of them or if both of them are killer attacks, it does trigger, and then the other card is discarded, so you could just lose both cards. The other thing about drawing cards is that 42 card deck is also like a timer. Once that deck runs out, if you guys have not escaped, whoever's still left on the board playing actually would be lost in the game, in the woods for the rest forever, and you lose. The one special ability that this one has is if the killer is on the same tile as you can roll a die and move that far away. You immediately flip and resolve that tile. So just a way to avoid an attack for that person. And they all vary. There's different ones. You'll see when we do a little playthrough. I'll go over these 3. These 2 little black tokens right here are your generator tokens. There's a generator card in here that lets you permanently flip 2 cards. These are just here, so when that does happen, we can mark them. These are your counselor attack dice for when they have combat against the killer. This is your killer movement die. You'll roll this at the end of the turn as well, so it gives him a little bit of mobility. This I can't change the facing on the die to tell you what it does, so I have it right here. So on a 1, the killer moves south 1 or north 1 space. On a 2, he moves 2 spaces closer to the counselor, 3 spaces closer to the counselor, 4 1 space to the south, 5 1 space to the west, 6 1 space to the east. These right here are little tokens that are being used to designate dead bodies. If you do die in this game, because you can die in this game, then we will put a dead body on the board, and your fellow counselors can come and loot your body. They're going to have to, really, especially if you have one of the keys to the car, the boat, or the watchtower. There's also ways for you to come back if you don't want to sit out. Some people don't like to sit out in games that have elimination, so you could come back as a generic counselor, and then you could make your way back to your body and get your stuff back. This 3 red dice right here are the killer attack dice. That's Mr. Killer right there. These 3 are counselor tokens that are just pawns that are just not being used right now. These are the 3 counselors that we have set up down here. These 2 dice right here are your killer placement dice. White is for the column, and black is for the row. So, for example, if this was the roll that we rolled, he would go to column 2 and row 6. So he would be chilling right there for right now. Potentially, he can move somewhere else. If he were to flip a tile, so this tile is all. This is one of the main 4 tiles. They're always face up. They will always be face up because that's the start of the camp, the main camp, and you will pick one of these to start on. But if one of these tiles, so say this tile says 4-3, if we were to have rolled 4-3 or 3-4, either version, he would show up on this tile. So the same thing goes for if we rolled 2-6 like this. If that tile was face up somewhere on this board and it wasn't here, he would show up to the tile where it's face up on. Even if it said 6-2, same thing. All right. These different ones down here are for the players that we have already laid out, and they have 3 little tokens on this one and this one. This guy has his special ability is he has a 4th health. So those little red tokens are their health, so they can get removed if they get hurt. All right, so let's go through some quick playthroughs real quick. So first things first, we will take this gentleman here. He's gonna be blue. So we'll do blue, purple, green. We roll the 2 dice to determine exactly where. Uh, 4-1. So this is 4, and it's row 1. So he's right there. So now, obviously, you could move there if you really wanted to, for whatever reasoning. But I highly suggest not to, because then you will have to fight the killer. So you have 2 movement. You don't have to move the full 2. You can just move 1 if you want. The only time you have to move a full movement is if you run away scared, which is usually what happens when you lose in a fight. So we'll just take blue. He'll go over here. He's going to flip the tile. It's a walking path. So on 1, 2, or 3, you may draw a card. On a 4, 5, or 6, the killer appears. So we'll just use this one. We'll roll. And it's a 2. So I can draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And it is gasoline. Perfect. All right, so we need the gasoline to be able to escape in the boat or the car. I forgot to draw my token, so let's do that. And that is a draw card. I'm going to go ahead and use that. I can use that whenever I like, and it'll let me draw an extra card. Perfect. It's the batteries. So now I have the batteries and the car and the gas. So I have both ways to get rid of, or to get, for card wise, to get away. I'm just moving this stuff over here so I have a little bit more room on things. All right. So yeah, so I can use the batteries. You need the batteries for the watchtower, and then you need the gas for the car or the boat. All right, so his turn is now over. So what we do next, because the killer did not attack anybody, if he attacks somebody, he gets removed from the board. But he did not do that. So now we're going to see if he moves and like happens to come across anybody. Or he moves 1 south. So he's adjacent to green. He does not. Okay, so this simulates him being in the woods. So he doesn't really see green right now. If this tile was face up, he would see him. Because just think of it as if it was like an open clearing or whatnot, and he would be able to see him. All right, so we're good there. And now at the end of the turn, because like I said, this is a timer factor, you draw another card. Oh, and it's the killer attacks. All right. So the killer is going to show up on Blue's tile now because he ended up drawing a killer attack card. So Blue will roll. Or not Blue. Killer will roll. Let's see what he gets. He gets an 8. Now, Blue's special ability is he Can re-roll one die every fight. That's something he gets to do all the time. Once per game, he can roll 3 dice instead of 2 in combat. An 8, he has faith that he can beat an 8, so he's going to roll just 2. Oh, horrible faith. He rolls a 5. So we're going to use our 1 regular special ability and re-roll that one. And it's a 5, so it's an 8. So 8 and 8. Tie goes to the... That was a 2. Tie goes to the counselor. So killer runs away. Well, not runs away, just is gone. And because of him defeating the killer, he gets the reward. And it is an adrenaline shot. So adrenaline shot, what it does is it gives you +5 movement on whenever you want to use it. So he has that now in his wheelhouse as well. All right. Now it's Purple's turn. First thing we do is we determine where the killer may be. And that is a 6 and a 2. So he is over here. Purple is going to go 1, 2. So we flip. We get a token. That's a stalker token. Stalker tokens, if you collect 3 of them, then the killer will appear on your tile and you'll have to fight him. No, let's see what... Stream 1, 2, or 3, cross safely. 4, 5, or 6, trip and fall. All right, so on a stream, on a 1, 2, or 3, you are going to get... Oh, it's a 2. So let's go over 4, 5, or 6 real quick. On a 4, 5, or 6, you trip and fall, which means you trip in the stream, you hurt yourself a little bit. You don't get injured, but you do lose an item if you have any items in your hand randomly. And then if you have on 1, 2, or 3 on crossing safely, you get an option. She can end her turn right now if she'd like. That'd be it. Nothing else happens. Or she could go to an adjacent tile here, 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 or here at no extra cost, but she will have to resolve those tiles. So we're going to do that. We're going to go here. As soon as you move off of a tile, it gets flipped back over. So now we're going to have to flip this one. We'll have to resolve this. The baseball field. Home field advantage. Home field advantage, what that means is if you have the baseball bat, you get +1 to your attack. An additional +1 to your attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, you draw a card. 5, 6, killer appears. So let's see what she has. 2. And that was what? Draw a card. Perfect. All right, so what she get? Gasoline. Awesome. All right, now it's the end of her turn. The killer hasn't done anything, but let's see if he moves and happens to... Ooh, a 6. I think that is west or east. Yep, east. So he pretty much just moves off the board. He's looking for him, but he can't find him. So it's her turn is over. And, she gets a killer attacks. Alright, so she gets a killer attack card. So he does show up on her tile. She does not have a baseball bat, so she doesn't get any special modifications because of that. Let's see what he rolls. He rolls, oh dang, 11. Her special ability is that she can combine dice if she's on the same tile as somebody else, and she's not. So, whoops, wrong one. I mean to roll that one. Let's see what she gets. 9. What was it? So a 9 to an 11, so she loses, so she's gonna run away scared. Runaway scared means you roll 1 die, 6, and she's gonna move that many tiles away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she moved that many tiles away because she ran away scared from the killer. The killer gets moved off to the side, and we remove 1 hit point. And that's that for that. The killer. Uh, yep. So now it's Green's turn. Green rolls the location dice, and it's, oh shoot, 3-2. Oh, that's not good. Right next to her. All right, so Green's gonna move here. We'll flip it. Draw a token. We got for a token. Oh, a stalker. Okay. Then what we got here? Storage shed. Draw a card or discard a card to pick from discard. Okay, so he doesn't have any cards. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want the killer attacks, even if he did have cards. So he gets a can of mace. Can of mace is a one-time use card. You can the killer re-rolls their highest die in the battle. So, all right. So his turn is over. He has nothing else to do here, so he just rolls the killer movement die, and it's a 5, which I think is. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, he moves 1 west, so he's going to end up fighting her. But his turn is over, so he does draw a card, another card, and it is bandages. Okay, so he's got first aid. Well, first aid kit, not bandages. But all right, so let's resolve this one here. Killer. Killer gets a 9. All right, come on, you can do this. A 6. Oh my goodness. All right, she's got to run away scared again. Hold on, we'll do that again. 1. Okay. She's gonna run away here. And killer is gone. She loses a hit point. All right, so that's one of the turns. I'm gonna try to find a token or a tile. I want to keep playing through, trying to find an escape tile so you guys can see that. Killer gets placed. 3-1. Man, he is like hanging out right there with them right now, ain't he? We'll go here. All right, get a token. Oh, nice. Got the key to the boat. Let's see, what did he land on? Walking path. All right. Oh, he rolled a 5. So the killer shows up. All right, so pretty much, the killer is gonna fight him. See what happens here. I don't want to make this thing run too long, so once I get to an escape tile, I'll pretty much show you guys how that works. Killer rolls 10, and blue rolls an 8. And gonna, whoops. Crap. All right, so this was a 5. And this was a 3. We're going to re-roll the 3. Oh, and it's another 3. So he takes a hit. So he takes a hit. He runs away scared. 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he goes away. This gets flipped. And his turn's over. Since he ran away scared, he doesn't get to draw a card at the end of his turn, even though he is on a face-up tile and he kind of is, getting his bearings again. He still ran away scared, so he doesn't get a special. He doesn't get to draw a card. We're going to resolve this for her. Oh, it's the car. Perfect. So this is the car. You need the keys for the car and the gas. And then once you have both of those, the keys always stay once you have them. The gas could run out. As you see, if you roll 1, the killer appears. 2, 3, or 4, the engine stalls and nothing happens. On a 5, gas runs out. You have to discard that gas card and hope someone else has some more gas. Or on a 6, you get to get away. So we're just going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and show you exactly what happens. She had to draw a token. Let's see what the token is. Oh, perfect. It doesn't matter. I'm not exaggerating. So she drew the keys to the car. So the keys to the car are in play. Perfect. She has gas. So now the gas is going to be in play. So here's the deal. Well, she didn't have to play the gas. She could have. She did. And now that she did play the gas, she's put the gas in the car. Now she's going to try to escape. So what happens is we roll. Wow. She rolled a 1. So the killer shows up. I'll run down each situation of what could happen. So if she would have rolled a 6 and she would have successfully got away, she would have taken the car and she would have left completely, leaving blue and green to fend for themselves and to have to find either the watchtower or the boat. If she rolled a 5, then the gasoline would be discarded and she would have to hope someone else had gasoline, like Mr. Tony Drix does, the blue pawn. He does have gasoline, so he could then come down here and start trying. Once on a 2, 3, or 4, it stalls out, and then you have to keep trying the next turn. But once you've played the keys always stay. The gas will always be here unless you run out by rolling a 5, or if you lose in a fight against the killer and you have to run away scared and no other person is left on the tile. So that's pretty much the gameplay. Like I said, say blue was on the car and they rolled a 6 and they got away, then also these two would be gone and green would be left by himself. Then pretty much the way I've done it is the way I've figured it is if there's only one person remaining, they have the option to either play through 6 more turns and try to see if they can escape, or they have the option to just say that they lost, they give up. But that's on them. Nobody likes to sit there and play alone. Sometimes it's up to. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you want to play with your friends. So that's just their call, really. But that's about it. I know this was probably not the greatest run through gameplay of a game showing it, but I'm hoping that it showed enough of the actual components of the game itself that you guys enjoyed it enough to understand exactly what's going on with it or whatnot. I will be setting it up for whoever wants to come on here. We'll figure out a date that we can get a group together so you guys can come and play, and we can go from there. I'm guessing like a group of 5, and I'll be the 6th. It was probably going to be the best way to do this. Not 100% sure, but all right. Thank you so much for checking the game out, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, I'll put in the description, because I think I want to upload this to YouTube. In the description about how to go to the Kickstarter PreLaunch page, which the last time I checked we're at 100 people, 100 followers. That's awesome. I appreciate it. And then also I'll put a link to the page, the landing page that has all the information for the Kickstarter, the Facebook group, the mailing list, all of that fun stuff. And yeah. We'll go from there. So thanks again, guys. Until next time, remember, if you find yourself in the woods and you hear something lurking, keep running.